Jinwoo sat in the big meeting room on the space station. The lights were bright and the walls were made of metal that looked like mirrors. He had been waiting for 3 hours to hear what the Alien Council would say about humans joining their group. His hands were shaking a little because he knew this was very important for all people on Earth. The big screen in front of him started to glow with blue light. Then words appeared on the screen in the human language. Jinwoo read the words slowly, and his face became sad and angry at the same time. The message said that humans could not join the Galactic Council. The aliens said humans were too young and too dangerous. The Alien Council was made up of many different types of creatures. The Koreans who lived on Earth had been trying to talk to these aliens for many years. The aliens had crystal bodies that looked like living diamonds. Some aliens were like gas clouds that could change shape. These aliens thought they were much better than humans. Dr. So-min was standing next to Jinwoo. She was a smart woman who studied alien life forms. She had worked very hard for many months to show the aliens that humans were good. She made reports about human medicine and how humans built amazing things. She also showed how humans were learning to live in peace with each other. But the aliens did not care about any of this. The alien message was very cold and mean. It said that humans were primitive. This word meant that humans were like cave people who did not know anything about science or peace. The aliens said humans still fought wars with each other. They said humans had only just learned to travel between planets. The aliens thought this made humans too stupid and violent to join their group. So-min felt very angry when she read these words. She had seen how humans could be kind and smart. She knew that humans had made many wonderful discoveries. She knew that most humans wanted peace and friendship with other people. But the aliens only saw the bad things about humans. They did not want to see the good things. Captain Dong-hyun was watching everything from his big spaceship that was flying around Earth. He was the leader of many space soldiers who protected Earth. He could see the alien meeting through a special camera that sent pictures across space. His face became hard and serious as he watched the aliens being mean to the human representatives. Dong-hyun had been a soldier for 20 years. He had seen many battles and had learned that sometimes people had to fight to protect what they loved. He did not like fighting, but he knew that sometimes there was no other choice. He watched as the aliens laughed at the humans and made jokes about how weak Earth people were. For 3 whole years, Jinwoo had been trying to make friends with the aliens. He had traveled to many different alien worlds. He had brought gifts from Earth like music and art and food. He had tried to show the aliens that humans were good people who wanted to learn and share with others. But every time the aliens said no. The aliens lived in a perfect world where everything was clean and organized. They had been living in space for thousands of years, longer than humans. They had big cities that floated between the stars. They had machines that could do amazing things. They thought they were so much better than everyone else that they did not need to be friends with younger species like humans. Jinwoo took a deep breath and stood up. He knew that this moment would change everything. He had hoped that the aliens would say yes and welcome humans into their group, but now he knew that would never happen. The aliens had made up their minds long ago. They would never accept humans as equals. So-min watched as Jinwoo pressed a small button that was hidden in his jacket sleeve. The button sent a secret message back to Earth. The message was very short, but very important. It said, "Protocol 7 is authorized." This was a code that meant Earth would now do something that had been planned for a long time. Back on Earth, President Min-ho was sitting in a special underground room beneath the city of Seoul. This room was built to be safe from attacks and had many computers and communication devices. The president was surrounded by his most trusted advisors and military leaders. They had all been waiting for this message. When the secret signal arrived, President Min-ho nodded his head slowly. He had known this day would probably come. The humans had prepared for this situation. They had made secret plans that none of the aliens knew about. The president looked at his advisors and said the words they had all been waiting to hear. The rejection from the Alien Council was not just an insult to the 3 humans in that meeting room. It was an insult to every person living on Earth. The aliens had judged all of humanity based on old information and prejudice. They had refused to see how much humans had grown and changed. They had refused to give humans a chance to prove themselves. Jin Woo looked at the alien representatives one more time. He could see in their strange eyes that they thought humans were nothing more than smart animals. The aliens believed that humans would always be inferior to them. They believed that humans would never be advanced enough to deserve respect. But Jin Woo knew something that the aliens did not know. He knew that humans had been keeping many secrets while they tried to join the Galactic Council. He knew that human scientists had been working on projects that would surprise everyone. He knew that the aliens had made a very big mistake by underestimating what humans could do. The meeting ended with the aliens dismissing the humans like they were bothersome children. Jin Woo So-min and Dong Hyun left the alien space station and began their journey back to Earth. They did not speak much during the trip because they all knew that everything was about to change as their spaceship flew through the darkness toward the blue and green planet they called home. The three humans thought about what would happen next. The aliens had chosen to exclude humans from their galactic community. Now Earth would show the galaxy what humans were really capable of accomplishing. The rejection was complete and final, but it was also the beginning of something much bigger than anyone could have imagined. The aliens thought they had won by keeping humans out of their club, but they had actually started a chain of events that would change the entire galaxy forever. 3 months after the rejection, strange reports began filtering through galactic communication networks. Trade ships reported unusual readings near the Sol system. Mining operations detected massive energy signatures emanating from Earth's moon and asteroid belt. Commander Tae-young of the Galactic Monitoring Station initially dismissed these reports as sensor malfunctions. Humans were barely capable of fusion power according to their intelligence files. What could possibly generate readings that matched heavy industrial operations across multiple celestial bodies? Dr. So-min, now back on Earth, worked tirelessly in the hidden laboratories beneath the Mojave Desert. For 50 years, humanity had been secretly developing technologies far beyond what they revealed to the galaxy. While presenting themselves as struggling with basic spaceflight, human scientists had mastered exotic matter manipulation, quantum field generators, and dimensional engineering. The deception had been necessary. Early contact with galactic civilization had taught humanity a harsh lesson. Advanced species either conquered or absorbed lesser ones. By appearing primitive, humans had bought themselves time to develop in secret while their best minds worked on projects that would make the galaxy take notice. Engineer Kyung-soo's team had just completed the final tests on the orbital shipyards, hidden behind the moon. Massive construction facilities invisible to conventional sensors had been churning out vessels that incorporated technology decades ahead of anything the Council possessed. Each ship was a masterpiece of human ingenuity, combining raw industrial power with elegant engineering solutions. Meanwhile, Dr. Ji-hai's research division had perfected something the galaxy thought impossible: true artificial intelligence that could interface directly with biological consciousness. The breakthrough had come from understanding that consciousness itself was a quantum phenomenon, something the rigid thinking of Council species had prevented them from discovering. President Min-ho reviewed the final preparations from his command center. Phase 1 was complete. Humanity had the tools they needed. Phase 2 would demonstrate that Earth was not asking to join the galactic community. They were announcing their arrival as equals, whether the Council liked it or not. The first sign that something had changed came when Galactic Trade Route Sigma 7 suddenly found itself blocked by what appeared to be a massive space station. The structure hadn't been there the day before, yet it stretched for kilometers in every direction, bristling with unknown technologies. Captain Wan Shik's voice echoed across every communication frequency in the sector as he broadcast from the station's command center. Attention galactic traffic. This trade route now falls under Earth Authority jurisdiction. All vessels must submit to inspection and registration before proceeding. The response was immediate outrage. How dare these primitive humans interfere with established galactic commerce? The Velthan Trade Consortium dispatched a fleet of enforcement vessels to remove this obstruction, confident that human technology couldn't possibly challenge their advanced warships. Admiral Su Jin waited patiently aboard the Earth flagship Indomitable as the alien fleet approached. Her crew, trained in secret facilities for years, operated weapon systems that seemed to bend reality itself. When the Velthans opened fire with their plasma cannons, they watched in shock as the energy simply vanished into dimensional rifts opened by human void manipulators. The return fire was even more shocking. Human vessels didn't use energy weapons or missiles. Instead, they deployed gravitational distorters that could crush a ship's hull like paper, or temporal displacement fields that aged enemy vessels into scrap in seconds. The Velthan fleet found itself completely outmatched by technology they couldn't even comprehend. But the real surprise came when the humans chose not to destroy their attackers. Instead, they demonstrated perfect surgical precision, disabling every weapon system while leaving life support intact. The message was clear. Humanity could have annihilated the entire fleet, but chose mercy instead. Similar scenes played out across 17 different sectors as Earth announced its presence through actions rather than words. Human installations appeared overnight at strategic locations throughout the galaxy, each one defended by technology that made Council fleets look like toys. Dr. Soman's voice joined the broadcasts, explaining humanity's position with scientific precision. We spent decades trying to join your community through peaceful means. Since you prefer to judge species by their capabilities rather than their intentions, we are now demonstrating exactly what human capabilities entail. Panic spread through the Galactic Council chambers as reports flooded in from across their territory. The humans weren't conquering or destroying. They were simply taking control of key infrastructure and resources with technologies that seemed to violate known physics. Council leader Veltar of the Velthans called an emergency session, demanding explanations for how these primitive apes had somehow developed capabilities that surpassed their most advanced civilizations. The Nexari representatives, existing as living gas clouds, rippled with confusion as they tried to process sensor data that made no sense according to their understanding of science. Intelligence Director Yun Jung had anticipated their confusion. From her position aboard a cloaked observation ship, she monitored the Council's desperate attempts to understand what had happened. 50 years of careful misdirection had worked perfectly. The galaxy species had grown complacent, assuming their technological superiority was permanent and unassailable. The truth was that human development followed a completely different path than galactic civilization. Where Council species had perfected existing technologies incrementally over millennia, humans approached problems from entirely new angles. Their chaotic, unpredictable nature, the very trait the Council had cited as disqualifying, had led them to breakthrough discoveries that challenged fundamental assumptions about reality. Engineer Kyung-Soo's reports detailed how human quantum engineering had achieved what the galaxy considered impossible by embracing uncertainty and chaos at the quantum level. Rather than trying to control it, human scientists had unlocked manipulation of spacetime itself. Their weapons didn't just fire energy, they rewrote local physics to make enemy attacks irrelevant. President Minho's next broadcast reached every inhabited world in the galaxy simultaneously, a feat that should have required the Council's entire communication network. We did not seek conflict. His voice carried clearly through universal translators. We sought partnership. You chose to judge us by your limited understanding of what civilization should look like. Now you see what human civilization actually looks like when we stop pretending to be less than we are. The galaxy's response was immediate and divided. Some species called for total war against the human threat. Others, recognizing the futility of fighting such advanced technology, began sending diplomatic overtures to Earth. A few wondered what other secrets the supposedly primitive species might be hiding. 6 months after humanity's dramatic announcement, the galaxy had been transformed. Trade routes operated under human oversight, ensuring fair access for all species rather than the monopolistic practices that had dominated for centuries. Piracy had virtually disappeared as human patrol vessels could appear anywhere instantly through their dimensional transit network. Ambassador Jin Woo now sat in the reformed Galactic Council chambers, not as a supplicant begging for membership, but as Earth's representative in a body that had been restructured to include all sapient species. The old hierarchy based on technological age and military power had been replaced by a more equitable system that valued diverse perspectives and innovative thinking. Dr. So Min had established research exchange programs that shared human scientific methods with interested species while learning from their accumulated knowledge. The combination of human creativity with galactic wisdom had already produced breakthroughs in medicine, engineering, and theoretical physics that benefited everyone. Captain Dong Hyun commanded a joint fleet that included vessels from dozens of species, all working together to explore regions of space that had been too dangerous for any single civilization to investigate. Human technology provided the tools, while alien expertise guided their applications toward discoveries that none could have achieved alone. The transformation hadn't been without challenges. Some species still resented humanity's sudden rise to prominence, while others struggled to adapt to the new collaborative approach. But most had come to appreciate that human involvement had broken the stagnant patterns that had kept galactic civilization locked in slow decline for millennia. President Minho reflected on the outcome from his office overlooking Seoul's skyline. Humanity had wanted to join the galactic community as equals, and when rejected, they had simply created a new community where equality was built into the foundation. The old council's exclusionary practices had been replaced by a system that recognized strength came from diversity rather than conformity. The galaxy had tried to exclude humans by claiming they weren't advanced enough. In response, Earth had revealed that human advancement had already surpassed everything the galaxy thought possible. The question was no longer whether humans deserved a place among the stars. It was whether the galaxy was ready to evolve beyond its ancient prejudices and embrace the future that humanity was offering to build together.